Sukhi and Dukhi were two sisters who worked as daily labourers in the city. 6 years back, both of them had come to the city with their husbands to earn a living. Sukhi was married to Sandeep and had a son named Rupesh. Dukhi was married to Ramesh and had a son called Manohar. Sukhi was older than Dukhi. Sukhi and her husband were hard-working construction labourers who worked extra hours and saved money for their son's future. Sandeep had left drinking a couple of years back and now together with Sukhi saves money for their future. Each evening after dinner, Sukhi and her husband sit down and count the money they had earned and spent in the day. Dukhi loves shopping and wastes a lot of her earnings on toys for Manohar or cosmetics and jewellery for herself. Dukhi's husband Ramesh is a drunkard and spent his entire earnings of the day on expensive liquor and gambling with his friends. One day Dukhi came to meet Sukhi. Dukhi looked worried.
What's the matter? Why are you looking so worried?
Sister, I borrowed 8,000 rupees from the moneylender 2 months back to celebrate my son Manohar's 5th birthday. I returned some of the money to the moneylender. Last month, a boy came to ask for Rukmini, my husband's only sister's hand in marriage. We liked the guy and did a small ceremony and presented the boy with a ring worth 3,000. The marriage is due in 2 months and we have already taken a loan of 80,000 from another moneylender. We need at least 50,000 more for the venue and dinner arrangements. I don't know what to do.
You are spending 1.3 lakhs for Rukmini's marriage? How much savings do you have?
Of course, sister. Rukmini is Ramesh's only sister and he wants to put up a big wedding. We want to give a fine reception to the groom's family and farewell Rukmini in style. Also, our neighbours have spent over 2 lakhs for their kids' marriage. We are just spending 1,30,000. I didn't have any savings, so I borrowed money from 2 moneylenders and some of my friends.
Dukhi, why do you need extra 50,000 rupees? What will you do with 80,000 rupees?
Sister, the 80,000 rupees would be used up for the dinner arrangements, wedding card printing, and booking the venue and decorations. We need another 50 to 60,000 for the sweets, jewellery, and wedding clothes.
Dukhi, you don't have to spend lakhs of rupees for just one wedding and then spend your entire life paying off the debt. What about Manohar's studies? What if someone in your house becomes sick? What will you do then? Would you keep borrowing from the moneylender and continue to live in debt all your life?
But sister, it is our responsibility to ensure that Rukmini leaves for her husband's home happy and content with the marriage arrangements. We are at the mercy of the moneylender, as he is the only one who can help us in emergency situations. We would pay off our debts over time.
Dukhi, you need to understand the difference between a need and a want. You may want to have a lavish wedding for Rukmini, but you do not necessarily need it. You can get Rukmini married off comfortably in less than 50,000 rupees.
It is impossible, sister. We need at least 1 lakh for the marriage.
There are ways to cut down on unnecessary expenses. For instance, choose a simpler design so the costs of printing are not that much. For the dinner arrangements, you can cut down on the number of dishes. Say, if you were planning to have 10 dishes, you can easily serve a good dinner with 3 to 4 dishes. For the venue, rather than booking a hall, you can use the open area in your locality or your temple or church and decorate it. For the jewellery and the clothes, you don't need more than 2 sets of jewellery and 4 to 5 sets of clothes. You may want much more, but you do not need more than this. I'm sure if you think this way, you would be able to have a good wedding celebration in maybe as less as 50,000 rupees.
But what will the neighbours say? Won't they make fun of us?
Dukhi, you should be worrying about your future and the future of your family, rather than worrying about what the neighbours would say if you serve them 3 dishes instead of 10.
What you are saying makes sense. I'll discuss this with Ramesh, my husband. Maybe we can get my sister-in-law married off in less than 50,000 rupees. We wouldn't need to borrow any more money, and we can use the remaining amount from 80,000 to pay off some amount to the moneylenders.
You have taken the first step to ensure you are not required to borrow beyond your means. Do you know what financial planning is?
Financial planning? What is that?
Financial planning is a way of planning for your future so that you don't need to borrow from a money lender and still have some money saved for sudden needs like house repair, accidents, etc. For instance, I have been planning for my future needs and have devised a proper financial plan. And so I have saved over 40,000 rupees for such emergencies.
Sister, you have managed to save 40,000 rupees. How? Did you win a lottery? How much do you earn?
No, Dukhi, I did not win a lottery. I have been planning for my future for the past 2 years. Remember when Rupesh had met with an accident and had to be hospitalized? I had to borrow a lot of money for my son's hospital bills. I decided then that I would make a financial plan of my immediate, yearly and 5-yearly needs and save some amount daily. My husband and I earn around 400 rupees each day. We save 100 rupees daily for emergencies and 100 rupees daily for our yearly needs such as Rupesh's school fees, festivals, etc. The rest 200 rupees we use for buying our groceries or paying electricity bills, etc. We have been saving like this for months.
But what are you saving for? How do you know which things you'll require in the future?
I have always wanted to have my own petty shop and I want to save for my old age. When I get old, I might find it difficult to find work. So who will feed me then? So I am saving now so that when I get old, I don't have to worry about food and other needs. I even make payments into a small micro pension plan with Ujjivan, which will provide me with a regular monthly payment when I reach 60 years. Do you see that bicycle in the corner? We bought it couple of months ago. Now we go everywhere on that cycle. It has helped us cut down our daily expenses.
Sister, even I want to have thousands of rupees as savings. Won't you teach me how to plan for my future?
Okay. Tell me how much you and your husband earn in a month. Come inside and we will record your family income. Let us make a table of your incomes and expenses. Income is how much you and your husband earn. This is the money that comes into your house. Expenses are how much money you spend. This is a table of Sandeep and my incomes and expenses. You can see that together we earn 12,000 rupees. We spend 8,000 rupees per month on things like food, school fees and our house. That leaves 4,000 rupees at the end of the month. We are careful to make sure that our expenses are only for needs, things that our family absolutely requires.
Sister, I and my husband together earn 400 rupees in a day. That comes to 12,000 rupees per month. But we do not have much left at the end of the month.
Okay, Dukhi. Let us make a table of our monthly expenses. Dukhi, you had said that you earn 12,000 rupees per month, but in your table you have mentioned 11,200 rupees. What did you do with the remaining 800 rupees?
Sister, I and my husband were unable to go to work for 2 days as my husband had fallen ill. The contractor cut 400 rupees from both our salaries, so we got only 11,200 rupees last month as salary. This is the 4th time it has happened this year.
Dukhi, your husband falls ill so frequently because he drinks and smokes a lot. If you miss work, you will earn less. If your husband stops drinking, you can save 1,000 rupees each week. Also, you and your husband can work extra hours if both of you are healthy and fit.
I will show this table to my husband and will ask him to leave his drinking habit.
Also, Dukhi, you spend some 1,200 rupees per month on cosmetics, sari and jewelry. Why?
Sister, my neighbor Savitri had bought this beautiful sari and she was parading in the whole neighborhood like she was some queen. I went and bought a sari which was much more beautiful than hers. It was so much fun, sister, but I never realized that I was spending so much.
Dukhi, if you want to have a better future, you have to stop buying cosmetics and saris just because your neighbor bought one too. Remember, every rupee saved would help you in paying off your loan quickly. You will understand better when I show you the financial diary. I want to show you how to use a budget diary. You can use this diary to keep track of all your family's incomes and expenses. That makes it easier to see how you can spend less money.
That would be useful. How do I start?
You can begin by filling in the family information on the first page. For each person in your house, write a name, age, relationship, occupation and monthly income. For example, in my house I am 35, the mother, and I work as a labourer, where I earn 4,800 rupees per month.
I think I can do that.
You can also use the diary to track how much money your family earns every week. Here, you record the money that you earn, that your spouse earns, and any money that you may have left over from last week. If you participate in a chit fund and will be receiving money from it, you can record that here as well. You see, in my diary, I have written the money that I made last week under self. I have been keeping my diary for 5 weeks. So I wrote my earnings in the week 5 box, in the row for self. I have also recorded my husband's earnings for every week and the small amount of money that I make selling vegetables.
I earned 900 last week. So I record it here, right? Oh, and this month we received some festival money from relatives. Do I have to record that as well?
Yes, you can record any other sources of income in the blank spaces. That way, you can add all the different incomes together with a calculator to see how much total your household receives each week. We write that in the weekly total. See, I start by finding the total money that I earned over the past 5 weeks. That is by adding all my weekly totals. I have to add 1,000 rupees, plus 1,000, plus 1,000, plus 1,000, plus 800 for my total. I also add up my husband's weekly earnings for his monthly total and the weekly earnings for the vegetable sales for that monthly total.
Isn't it hard to do all that math?
No, I use a calculator. I turn it on by pressing on. If there is anything on the screen, I press CCE to clear it so that it displays 0. Then I can simply type in 1,000 plus 1,000 plus 1,000 plus 1,000 and finally 800. When I'm finished, I press equal to once to see the result. I don't have to do any hard math.
May I try?
Certainly. We just found the monthly total for me and recorded it on the right side of the table. Now, you can add the income totals from my husband and the vegetable sales to find the total household income per month. Just add the total incomes on the right side of the table and write the result under total household income. This combines my total income with the total income from my husband as well as the income from the vegetables I sell.
So I have to type in 4,800 plus 4,000 plus 200, right?
That's right. Remember to press CCE to clear the screen. Then type 4,800 plus 4,000 plus 200 and then equal to see the answer. This diary is also useful for tracking the money that you spend. In this monthly table, you can write down expenses that you pay per month, like rent or any fees for school, as well as the date that you paid. In my diary, I have written that we paid 400 rupees for electricity on the 15th. I also made a note here under details because the rate went up last month. I have to remember to pay more next month.
Do I have to add together the monthly payments that I make in this table as well?
Yes, sister. You must add all the amounts to find the total monthly household expenses. For example, here I add my expenses 3,000 plus 1,000 plus 400 plus 200 plus 100. Then I press equal to for the answer. And I write the total in the pink box. That is the amount of money we spent on monthly costs last month.
So this table must be for weekly expenses?
Exactly. Here we can write the total your family spends on food, clothing, jewelry, and other products. You can also add any payments that you make to a chit fund right here.
I think I understand. I write all my different expenses from last week. Last week, I spent 200 on buses and autos. That was my transport. I spent 600 on my food, and we bought a shirt for my husband that was 100. We didn't have any medical bills, but we did spend some for the mobile. I think it was 50. And we paid for a radio and a necklace as well. That's 200 for entertainment and 300 for jewelry, right?
Yes, sister. It's important to remember all the different things that you spend money on. At the end of the month, you can add all the numbers just like we did for family income. You start by adding the rows to find a total for each category. For example, for my food, I spent 500 in week 1, then 400 in week 2, then 500, then 600, then 350. So for the weekly food total, we add 500 plus 400 plus 500 plus 600 plus 350. Now you add the category totals together to find your total monthly expenses. So I would add my food total plus transportation total plus medical total and all the other categories. The total goes here in total weekly expenses. One last thing, sister. This box, cash in hand, is used to record the physical cash that you keep in your house. It is useful to keep track of how much money you have so that you can notice if some goes missing. This table shows the monthly summary of your income and expenses. In the yellow box, you have to write your total monthly household income. In the green box, you can fill in your total monthly business income if you have a business. In the purple box, you have to mention the amount of loan you have taken in the current month. Then in the red box, you add the total of all these incomes. This is your total income or inflow. In the total expenses or outflow table, you have to write your monthly household expenses in the pink box. Write your total weekly household expenses, which we calculated in the weekly table, in the blue box in the summary sheet. If you have any monthly business expenses, the total expenses must be recorded in the orange box. And if you have made any loan repayments in this month, you have to write it in the blue box. Then add up all these expenses and write the total in the red box for total monthly expenses. Now we will subtract the total expenses from the total income to get the net balance or surplus. If you still have money left over after meeting all your monthly expenses, it is called a surplus, and it can be used to meet the next month's expenses.
This is quite a lot of writing to do, and I don't like writing much. Isn't there some other way I can keep my balances in check?
Dukhi, maintaining a notebook is the best way to make a budget or save money. You can ask Manohar, your son, to fill in the entries. This would also help Manohar to learn how to maintain a balance book. Or whenever you buy something, ask for a bill and save the bills in some box. But loose papers tend to get lost, so you might lose some of the bills. But a notebook is the best possible way to keep a check on your money. The financial diary also has some blank pages where you or Manohar can make notes and record all your daily incomes and expenses as well. Once it becomes a habit, you will see for yourself how much more you have started saving.
Okay, sister. I will try maintaining a money book. It's getting dark. I will talk to Ramesh, my husband, about the options you gave for Rukmini's marriage.
Yes. I too need to start cooking. Oh, Dukhi, if you want to learn how to make 4,000 to 6,000 rupees in a month without doing extra work, do visit me next week.
Make 2,000 rupees without working extras. How? Please tell me now, sister.
Patience, my little sister. Come next week. I will tell you the secret.